What up, doe? I'm Rose the engineer.
My name is Preme.
And these are our deal breakers.
You're watching SBoy TV.
All right, first question. She is a felon. I guess it would depend on the crime.
It depends on what it's for. People make mistakes. I've made mistakes.
People make mistakes. I can give a level of forgiveness to a felon, depending on the crime, the felony, where no one's perfect.
All right. She wants you to sign a prenup. Not worried about that at all.
I don't really have a problem with that.
I get my own bread. I'm not worried about your bread. That would be pussy for me to take your bread when we break up. That's weak as hell.
I'm not one of those guys that it's my shit. There's a purpose. There's a purpose for the prenup. I'm not opposed to it. Depends on how crazy it is, though. I don't want to give away my everything. She likes to dance with other people at the club. Girlfriends, yes. Other guys, hell no. I'm very jealous in that way.
I don't like it. I for sure don't like it. Deal breaker? I would say maybe not. Maybe not right now.
And I'll even take it a step further that I wouldn't really be dating a girl who's at the club a lot anyway. The club is fun and fine, and there's a phase where you can go to the club, but I want someone who's a little more focused, and you just simply can't be focused at the club.
She still communicates with her ex-boyfriend. Deal breaker depending on what it is?
No, that's a super deal breaker. If you are still communicating with your ex-boyfriend, you are not over your ex-boyfriend. Like, we're doing a new thing, all right? That's old shit. You can leave that in the past. You move on. You walk over here to me.
I mean, if it's other than to get your shit, then yes, obviously. But if you're just getting your shit, that's really it.
He's got no place. I don't have spots for him. I'm not giving him Christmas presents. His name isn't under our tree. He can stay the fuck home. No, hell no. She has a BBL. I'm not opposed.
Deal breaker. Deal breaker. I need everything natural. I just like women the way God created you. I'm sorry if that makes me terrible.
It could make things better and interesting.
The thing is, I just can't know. If it's that good to where I don't know, then I guess at that point, I mean, as long as I don't find out, cool.
What I would like to really know, I'd do some research on the long-term ramifications of BBL, because I don't want to be on like our 30th honeymoon somewhere in the Bahamas and one of them cheeks pop and now she's floating over the boat and the sharks are getting at her. They smell blood in the water. That's a no-go. So it's more of a safety issue for me, but you know, a little BBL, a little fun.
She wants to use toys in the bed as long as they are for her, not me.
That's fine. You play with those yourself. I need to wield them. I'm not getting wielded on. There's a place for them, and it's not me. You know what I mean? That's fine. You can experiment in bed, especially when you're in relationships. Like, I don't care who you are. I don't give a shit who you are. You could be the best fuck of all time, but if you're fucking the same person over and over and over again, you know, shit gets a little boring, you know what I mean? Like, steak is delicious, but I'm not eating steak every day. You know, sometimes you need a little A1 sauce. She goes out every weekend. That's a deal breaker. Better be at the library.
If you're in a relationship, I feel like you're a woman and you're going out every weekend and your spouse isn't there, I don't know. It just don't sound good when you say it out loud. Her credit score is a 500. I don't care about where anyone is really currently. It's all about where you want to be and where you're actually working to be.
Well, that's not the worst thing in the world. A lot of people don't know about credit.
500 credit score and you're not doing anything about it and you're just bitching about it, deal breaker. But if you have a 500 credit score and you've been working, maybe your baby daddy didn't put shit in your name, all that shit, it's cool. It just depends on the situation as long as she's actively trying to get out of it.
It is an indicator that she's bad with money or maybe she has, you know, a problem with overspending. But, you know, I can't judge her when America's trillions of dollars in debt. You know, the entire country is in debt. Our country can't stop spending. I think that's a fixable issue. She does not want girls on your podcast. Bye, deal breaker. No, this is business, okay?
If she don't want nobody else, I hope she's ready to talk, because we need that insight that women can give.
All right, if I was gonna cheat, I would not have that person as a guest on my podcast. You know what I mean? So no, that's a deal breaker. You can fuck right off. Don't get in the way of my bag. She wants a polyamorous relationship.
No. That's a deal breaker.
That's also a deal breaker. Like I said, I'm very traditional. I believe in two people, you know what I mean? I believe in what it means to have a strong connection with one person. I believe the bond you can get over time and the growing together and the forming the family and the raising the children and all that good stuff. And I don't want it to be, you know, me, her, and like Kyle. You know, I'm not.
Damn. She never had her hoe phase. Now this is an interesting one.
That would be fine by me. Never had a hoe phase?
I feel like you have to have your hoe phase to know that you don't like it.
There's some people who say, you know, if you never had a hoe phase, she's locked up in the house, she's gonna be on TV and she's gonna watch Magic Mike and she's gonna go crazy and it's gonna infect her mind and she's gonna go and ruin the family. I'm not a firm believer in that as a possibility.
It's like, how can you say, oh, I'm bigger than that if you don't know how it is? Because like, I feel like you have to have one.
I think there's some girls out there that simply don't need a hoe phase.
I feel like you won't get to that realization unless you have one, unless you're just raised perfectly. But I feel like everybody wants to try that shit out. And if you haven't yet, when are you?
She does not show affection.
Super big deal breaker.
I don't know if that's a deal breaker.
We live in a crazy world when it comes to just, mental health and all these things and doubts, insecurities, people not knowing what's going on in your head. I feel like if anything, that is, even if you're not an affectionate person, it's a good reminder that, oh, you fuck with me.
I have a problem showing affection. Like, I have to remind myself to tell, like, people I love them sometimes. Like, I have to be very mindful of how I come across sometimes because sometimes I'm stone-faced and all that type of stuff.
You need to show affection. It don't have to be every fucking, no, it gotta be every fucking day of the week. It has to be 24/7, low-key. She wants you in the house by a certain time.
With the way this question is phrased, she wants me in the house. I mean, some days I can't.
If you want me to be there at a certain time and just because I gotta be home at 8 but you're not home, then obviously no. But as long as we kicking it together, I mean, shit.
You know, the way my life is, I'm a recording engineer, so sometimes my hours are 9 a.m. to 9 a.m. As long as she understands that it's not gonna go that way all the time. Now, if she's adamant and she's like, you have to pick engineering these rappers or me, that's a deal breaker because I'm picking the rappers every time. I'm in this bitch. I love recording.
My name is Jace Preme. You can follow me at Jace Preme on Instagram.
You can follow me at Rose the Engineer on Instagram. You can also follow all of me and Jace's content at the Preme Pod on Instagram, where we're going to be uploading the shorts there, the long-term form on YouTube, where we go into the cross-section of business, entrepreneurship, music, culture in general, and just have a general good time.